Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's December 15th. Just wanted to kind of check in with you guys. The assignment you have today is Metzger's lecture on the nitrogen cycle. Okay. So I don't want to go super into it right here and then have you listen to it again in that, because it is kind of our introduction to this cycle. What I want to do right here is just kind of go over a couple housekeeping items, and then just give us a really general idea of the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so one thing I just want to get out is, if you have any formative assessments in your assignments list that have not been done yet, you need to get those done ASAP. I had mentioned last week that last Friday would be the last day I would be accepting any late assignments, but I will move that till tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, I will go through and check one last time the old assignments in Microsoft Teams, and then I will put those grades into Infinite Campus if you have any late formative assessments. At this point, I'm not going to go through and look at other assignments for the work ethic grade. I'm going to leave that as last Friday, but for the grade that really matters, that's super important for us, that IB grade, I will go through and take another peek at any formative assessments that anybody turns in late. So please, please, please try to get that done today or tomorrow. Okay. Another thing, Friday's the end of the semester. You guys do not have school on Friday. So the assignment that says you have to do it on Friday, just don't worry about that. I had mentioned that yesterday in the live class, but not too many people showed up. The schedule that I posted into Teams shows that there's no school on Friday, so that should clear it up. Just check the post section, and I have the weekly schedule there for you. It's just the assignment that is in the guiding document for Friday, and it's in the assignments tab for Teams. It's the summary of the week. Just don't worry about that one. Okay? So kind of taking a look at the nitrogen cycle. Our main idea here is that nitrogen in the atmosphere is super common. There's a lot of it, and it's very important for us. Okay, but the form that it is in the atmosphere is too strong for us to just be able to break it apart and use it. We need to get it into a form that we can take it into our bodies. And why that is that nitrogen N2 has a triple bond. Okay, and so that means it's 3 times as strong as a traditional bond. It just requires a lot of energy to break, right? We kind of talked about how those bonds, how we break those. We said we need high amounts of energy, so you can imagine a triple bond, we would need triple the amount of energy for that. So what happens is, it's kind of this cool process. When it rains, when it snows, nitrogen in the atmosphere will settle down onto the earth, okay? And there are these nitrogen fixing bacteria in the soil. They're most common around certain roots, like legumes, like beans and stuff like that. These bacteria like to live on those roots, and they take this nitrogen and they break it down from this form that we can't use into a form that we can, okay? And that is super duper important. They're also able to do that with waste products. So we have ammonia-based waste products as animals, and they can take those waste products and break that into a nitrogen form that is able to be taken up by the plants. So if we think about it, like, cow poop is good fertilizer, you think, well, why? That's weird. Well, this right here, this bacteria is able to take that poop, break it down into a good form of nitrogen that the plants are able to use, right? And then those plants will take that up into them, and then either another animal will eat those plants, or we will eat those plants, or if another animal ate those, eventually we'd eat an animal that ate a plant, So that nitrogen is getting to us eventually. And then how does it leave us? Well, we pee and we poop as well, right? So, excuse me. The bacteria are crucial here, right? So we kind of talked about how cellular respiration and photosynthesis kind of balance each other back and forth, where like plants will pass it to animals and animals will pass it back to plants, right? With this one, plants and animals are kind of on the same side of it, and we're kind of passing it back and forth with this bacteria. Okay, so that bacteria is what takes this nitrogen from a bad form that we can't use, changes it into a good form. The plants take it up. We eat the plants. Okay, us and the plants need this nitrogen. That's why it's so crucial for life. It's in our DNA. So without nitrogen, our DNA would not be able to be what it is. So life as we know it would have not been able to evolve. We talked about, and we will talk, I get confused when I made these videos, right? We will talk about another cool way that nitrogen can be fixed naturally is through lightning strikes. Okay, so it's this really cool process where whenever lightning strikes, the nitrogen in the air around that is automatically fixated. So it changes from the bad form to the good form. And that's just kind of a cool thing of nature because lightning strikes are super high energy. Okay, and then there's also in forest fires and in volcanic eruptions, we can also have this naturally, just because they're super high energy events. Okay, so right, this nitrogen has this triple bond. We need a way to break that bond because it's super, super strong. So high energy events like lightning, volcanic eruptions, or forest fires can do it, but also the nitrogen fixing bacteria in the dirt. Right, they take it from this bad form, they turn it into a good form. Plants absorb that good form from the ground, and then we eat those plants. And then eventually we pee and poop that nitrogen back out and it goes back into the earth, right? So it's this circular process where that nitrogen is going around and around and around and around. So the nitrogen in our DNA, right, could have been nitrogen in dinosaur DNA, kind of like how we were talking about that carbon. Okay, so that's kind of a quick little intro. It's our last week before break, so please, 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 let's make sure we end on a great note. I love giving good grades. I hate giving bad grades, so let's make sure that we get all those assignments done, those formative assessments, get any of those turned in, please, please, please. And hopefully y'all will join us on Thursday for our live class. But if not, I hope you have a fantastic couple of weeks. But I will see you tomorrow because we still have a few days left. All right, see you guys.